What's up, everybody? Before we get going into this podcast, it is beyond impactful. This man's story is absolutely amazing. What he's overcame and what he continues to overcome. It's really going to have you really look at yourself and think, what the hell is my excuse? It's beyond impactful to the point where you're going to listen to this podcast and you're going to realize that I actually have nothing to say. And we know on this podcast that's a very hard thing for me to do. But what I want to do, something I haven't done before running my podcast, is I want to let you know that his GoFundMe is going to be down in the description. If you feel it in your heart to donate, I would love for you to do that. This podcast is not ran and endorsed by any company. This podcast will never be ran and endorsed by any company other than Heavy to Modified, because I don't want to be told what to do, and I don't want to be told what to say. And I want to be able to speak the truth and talk about sensitive stuff, talk about hard stuff, talk about real stuff. But this right here is definitely something that if you find in your heart to definitely go down there and donate. Other than that, enjoy the podcast. This is a good one.
All this happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Modify Your Life podcast, where I am your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. And here at Modify Your Life podcast, we talk about modify your life mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. And the only thing we ask, if you get some type of value from the show, show some love, drop a comment, send it to your friend, send it to your grandma. She might need some motivation. We never know. You know, send it to someone that just needs a little motivation, a little pick me up. That's all we ask. We love making this content for all of you, because not only do we want to get better over here at Modify Your Life podcast, but we want you to get better. But today we got not Modified Frankie, all right? We got freaking Pedo. And you guys probably seen him because he's famous all over the world known on the microphone, Mr. Worldwide, Pedo, EDC Glamour Shot Pedo. But he's a lot more than that. What's up, brother, man?
What's good, man?
How you doing, brother? How you doing, man?
Thank you for having me.
You've been in Vegas for 15 minutes, and I have to apologize 100 times for my team over here just disrespecting, bro.
It happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
It probably doesn't help too that we have like freaking 70 lights facing towards you right now, right?
Yeah.
It's a different, but we're just gonna get into it, man. We're just gonna have a conversation, and we're about to. I want you to just first off, man. I want you to just share your story. I just want to share who is Pedo. Why is Pedo here right now?
So, at a very young age, I grew up just dealing with constant chronic back pain. We couldn't figure out what was going on with my health. We couldn't figure out the source of what was going on with me, right? And so, my parents are, immigrants here. I'm firstborn, and so they don't really know how to maneuver here in the United States. But yeah, eventually, growing up over the years, I come from, my parents are divorced and whatnot. And so I grew up with like step siblings and stuff. So every time I would be in pain, it was, you're doing it for attention, and eventually over the years, my scoliosis that I didn't know about was just progressing. And by the time of like 13 years old, my parents noticed that my spine was abnormal. My back, my posture, the way that I was walking just wasn't right. And my bad, I might get a little emotional. We ended up finding out that I had scoliosis. Basically what happened was you got your spine, the pelvis in between the spine and, the hip and whatnot. There was a bone growing that was abnormal, pulling on my spine, causing the scoliosis. And they went in, did surgery, removed it. And in the process, they ended up finding extra bone mass growing along my spine. And they also found a cyst in there, came back negative, wasn't cancerous at all whatsoever. So that I was very grateful for. I was up and walking the same night from that procedure, and I was supposed to wear a brace, especially with, my condition, just to prevent it from getting any worse. I didn't wear it properly. I was being humiliated. I was getting bullied, being called a turtle. It was uncomfortable to breathe with it on. It was uncomfortable to sleep with it on. So I didn't wear it properly. Within about a year and a half, my spinal curvature went from a 30-degree to a 90-degree. And doctors gave me two options. Either A, we do surgery, or we put you on another brace for 3 more years. I went with the surgery. 18-hour procedure, collapsed my lungs, did rod placements along my spine. They did a spinal fusion in the lumbar region. And if you don't know what that means, it's they take out several discs and they swap that material with bone. And basically they fused all that up. And after that procedure, I don't remember seeing anything. I couldn't speak. All I remember was lights completely out and just me trying to write on a whiteboard with the marker. That was my form of communication with them at that time. Within that process, after like my swelling settled down and everything, they poked my legs with, needles and whatnot to see what I can feel. And I ended up with a spinal cord injury.
Man.
Brutal, very brutal process. 15 years old, losing the ability to walk, losing the ability to feel anything from the waist below, to control your bowels, to control your bladder. Not only that, as a man, like the fear of not being able to have a family, not being able to start a family. Who's going to accept me? Who's going to love me? Who's going to show up for me?
Yeah.
So many questions, so much anger, so much rage, so much sadness, but everything was just silent. I couldn't really express myself. I didn't know how to express myself. So yeah, that was the teenage years, And in that process as well, just went through the suicidal phase, made a few attempts on my life. And the only thing that held me back from that was hearing the voices of my ancestors telling me to stop, think about my grandparents. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm going to listen. But yeah, teenage years were rough. Going back to high school, settling into that, dealing with teenagers looking at you some type of way, like you're less than them. It's not an easy life at all whatsoever. Not at all. But yeah, that's the beginning part of it.
That's insane, man. That got me worked up over here just listening talk about it. Question, the second time you went around and they said that you can have the surgery, or you get to put the brace back on. Do you think that you chose to go with the brace because of all the bullying you're getting from, kids your age and stuff like that? Or was that generally you that wanted to get it done?
That was me that wanted to get it done. Okay. Because either way, at 18 years old, I was going to have to get the procedure done regardless.
So you might as well just get it done now and get it out of the way.
Yeah, I was just like, let's slam it out, get it out of the way, and move on. So.
And then so that thought process of when everything started to come back to light, when you realized what your new life was going to look like, right? Well, once we were off all the pain medicine and they came and they talked to you about what, who you are now moving forward and what you're going to have to overcome. How did you, I can't even fathom taking all that, information in. Like, how did you even take all those words in and even kind of put them where they belong?
I couldn't. Everything. I was numb.
Yeah.
Numb to everything. I mean, not only from the legs, from the waist down, but, not just.
Damn you, Tito, do not do this to me.
All right.
You know, please do not do this.
Hey, it's me.
You're gonna get me canceled. You're gonna get me canceled because they're gonna take the certain clips and they're gonna take me laughing, and then they're gonna make me look like some monster.
I take full accountability for what I say. It's not on him. It's on me. All right.
Man,
Let's
I freaking
just
bro.
Leave that disclaimer there.
Thank you. My PR appreciates
I got you.
Man, you know, I do still want to get into all this thought process in the beginning, but I just want to say right now, as we continue to get into who you are today, bro, your fucking energy and how positive you are after everything you just told me right now. But like literally we could just take what you just said and say, what the fuck is your excuse? And then just end the podcast and people would just be like, oh my gosh, why am I complaining over freaking my stub toe? Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like it's just so, it's like, it just really, like, as I'm listening to you, like, and people probably out there listening, like, that follow this podcast are like, holy shit, AJ didn't say nothing right now. He has not talked in 3 minutes, the longest this guy's ever went. But it's like, just like, as I'm listening to your story and I'm listening to just what you've been through before the age of 18, like, it's just like, in my head, how I'm taking is like, bro, if you ever make one goddamn excuse again, AJ, you shut up. You know what I mean? Because like, it just always reminds you, like, you think you're going through something so difficult, so hard, something that's not possible to overcome, but yet there's someone that's actually going through something that's actually being told that it's impossible to overcome. Right? So, but before we move into who you are today, which is a fucking amazing person, just a mindset is just, people should aspire to be like you. What was it adapting into your new mental state? Like, you know what I mean? You can't walk anymore. What was it? You know, so at a young age, when being so, you know, at that age, we're so judgmental. You know what I mean? We don't realize how deep those words do cut because we're assholes at that age. I think we're safe to, or raw ass, you know, just what it is. So like, how was it like dealing with that first, like, let's say like 2 years?
Humor.
Yeah.
Humor. Just trying to make light of it. Trying to make light of everything, man. You know, going out, spending time with friends, keeping myself out of being stuck in between four walls.
Yeah.
Whether it's a bedroom, whether it's a hospital, you know what I mean? Like, me being contained in between four walls, it is the worst thing possible. Because then I'm in my head. You know, caught up in my thoughts, caught up in my my feels, you would say, you know what I mean? And so basically me getting out and socializing and connecting with people and just taking the hits for what they were, you know, through life, you know, that was what got me through most of it. Playing video games as a kid, you know, just burning through hours of, you know, playing GTA or Call of Duty, you know what I mean? Just
GTA.
gaming online with friends, you know, that helped me out, you know, so.
Yeah, and you know, I like what you said of just like you got out, right? Because when you're stuck behind these four walls, you have nothing to do but think about your thoughts and literally face some of the probably deepest and darkest demons you probably ever have to overcome. So by you getting out and being around people, and while you're going through something so, I mean, life changing, you know what I mean, is probably not only the best thing for you, but for anybody, right? Because, you know, when I had gone through my situation with my grandpa and stuff like that, which we were friends in that time. You did your thing for us and stuff like that. You know, when I was by myself is when those demons were loud. They were loud. And it was when, you know, no one was around. It was when Francine wasn't home. It was when, you know, my grandma wasn't home. It was when I wasn't on the phone. It was when I wasn't playing on a video game, when I'm talking with people. It was like when it was just me versus me. It was loud and it was difficult, man. And I'm really happy that, you know, quickly learned that, you know, being around people that love you and being around people that, you know, care about you is some of the best therapy. Right? Some of the best therapy for anyone. And I feel like when we all go through a situation, we feel like we're so by ourselves that we make ourselves by ourselves. Yeah. Like we put ourselves in a box.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And so like, just as we keep on going, I just would, you know, what would you say to that person right now that's stuck in that box by themselves? Well, that's stuck in that box so they, you know, they feel they're by themselves. They feel that they're on this journey or they're this, you know, this going through this situation alone.
for one, get out of your head. Get out of your damn head. Like, even if you have days where you can't even get out of bed, you don't have the energy for it, you don't have the capacity for it at all whatsoever, nourish yourself at least. Drink your water, get some food in, listen to music. You know, it's the littlest things that can shift your mind is definitely music. That, not only that, but music was my saving grace. So, yeah.
That was it.
Definitely.
It just allowed you to not have to only hear your voice talking, right? Yeah. And so, okay, so we're hanging out with people. You're getting used to, your new reality, right? Where did you get like this? Where did you become like, so like, I'm just trying, every time I hear someone talk and share their story, right? Because I share my story all the time. My story is my story. I've lived my story, how you live your story, right? So you know how you've overcame your battles. I know how I've overcome my battles, but other people hear my story, or other people hear your story, they like, they can't grasp it, right? Because they're not stepped in the shoes, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm doing that right now with yours.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking like, how would me, even Anthony Lopez today, with the knowledge and the discipline and the hard work and the ethic I've built, what if I were to, wake up in that situation? Like, I'm trying to think, like, grasp around my head, like, how would I still remain? How would I become positive? Like, how did you build this positive you? Because when I meet you, I don't even, the first half of your story, I wouldn't, obviously we know you're in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. But everything and all the pain and emotion that it brought to you, not physically, I'm talking about mentally, and to see how positive a person you are, not only for like me, but for Francine when she's going through stuff, like, how did you build that positivity other than just laughter? Because couldn't just be laughter.
A lot of it had to do with faith.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of it had to do with faith. And, what works for me might not work for somebody else. You know what I mean? And I just want to put that out there. But for me, it was just prayer, having the mindset that, you know what, this is only temporary. It's going to get better, and even if things don't look like they're getting better, let it build you up. Let it break you down. Let it build you up at the same time. You can fall 1,000 times, but you better get up 1,001. Seriously. That's what got me. That's what got me moving. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, even then, just like talking to family members about the situation of what I was going through, the struggle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Trying to get myself out and about, but a lot of it had to do with faith as well. Yeah.
That's, bro, fuck, man. Got me worked up on my own goddamn podcast, pedo.
I'm sorry.
God damn you, pedo. Damn you. It's actually Jose. But I'm calling Pete. What?
Don't call me pedo, because then they're going to think something weird, man.
Why did I say pedo, not... I can't say that. Well, see, I'm trying to get me in trouble. You see what you're doing? You see you're doing this right now. You're trying to get me in trouble. I'm not falling for this, pedo. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you're, like I said, what doesn't work, what works for you might not work for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that what works for you would work for everyone. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, like, how many, as just me and being who I am and what I've overcome and what I've been through and what I do now for a living. And I'm calling myself out too, is just like, when you hear someone's story like this, it is so impactful that to listen to you overcome all this stuff from it's for your whole, majority of your life. You know what I mean? It really just makes you second guess, like, what are we complaining about? Like, is it really that bad? Like, is it really that bad? And what am I going through right now? Is it really life-changing, or am I making it life-changing? Right? Is this the life or death situation, or am I turned into a life or death situation? Because, when I'm sitting here, next to you, knowing what I've overcome, and I'm thinking like my journey ain't shit.
Yeah.
Now, obviously everyone's journey and struggle is equally is hard, but I personally, me saying that out loud, I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? Because like the stuff that you have gone through and the things that you need to go through in order to achieve what you want to achieve in life, mm-hmm. It now became so much harder, but then it made the fight so much more worth it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I also want to add, like, with with everything that I got hit with from the spinal cord injury, like in my depression, I neglected my self-care. Didn't eat right, wasn't moving off of my wheelchair a lot. Like, if you have a spinal cord injury, this, like you have to be aware to be mindful of how long you're sitting in specific positions. And if you're not moving your body, eventually you develop a pressure sore. I ended up accumulating one on my bottom, went to a stage 4, meaning you could see bone tissue. That one right there was the one that really broke me out of a lot, because I was hospitalized because I ended up contracting osteomyelitis. If you don't know what that is, it's a deadly bone infection. So I had to go to the hospital, spiking fevers of 104. Pops couldn't even help me out with that. At the time, I was very prone to getting a lot of urinary tract infections because of, urological issues. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up in the hospital, had plastic surgery done on my bottom to get the wound closed up. And I was bedridden for 3 months, stuck in a room, on antibiotics for 6 months through a PICC line. Worst experience ever. Like, having antibiotics running through your system for 6 months straight, me setting up my own bags, hooking up the lines and all that on my own. It did something to me, man. It really did something to me, to the point where it's just all like, I'm letting my actions affect my health, not only my health, but everyone around me. My parents, their finances, being told like, you're the reason why our parents are broke. You know what I mean? It's just all like, so a lot of, setbacks that I experienced was really, like the catapult to, for me to like choose myself, and better my health. So,
So that sore was your rock bottom. So, yeah. Which is insane, bro. You literally just told me about coming out of a surgery with no filling, waist down, and your rock bottom was a sore, right? It just shows how strong this guy's mindset is before he even knew he had a strong mindset, right? That's insane. Your rock bottom wasn't getting put in a wheelchair. Your rock bottom was already after being in a wheelchair and because of a sore. You realize that you weren't focusing on yourself, which we all do. Right? We all do that. We start going through something. We stop taking care of ourselves. We start thinking it's the end of the world. We start thinking that this is over, life is over, blah, 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 blah. Like, we put ourselves in this such negative box. But regardless of what the situation is, and it's safe to say now, especially after having Pito on this podcast, regardless what the situation is, you could dig yourself out of that hole. Like, what do those first couple days look like of Pito finding who Pito is? And I call him Pito. That's who I call him. He call him Pito. Uncle
Me
Pep.
finding who I was moving out of my parents' house. Moving out of my parents' house at 21 years old, renting bedrooms from friends. That's where I found out who I am. Because I'm not depending on my parents. I had to figure things out on my own, making sure I'm taking care of my bills, making sure that I'm getting to my doctor's appointments, making sure that I'm on top of my health, making sure not only just my physical health, but my mental health. So
you just had to get out there and become dependent on yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And like, what would be a couple difficult things that someone like me would never even understand on living on your own? Some things that were even shocker to you of like, oh crap, I didn't realize this. Like, for me, when I think of moving out, I'm like, shit, shampoo, conditioner's expensive. You know what I mean? Like, that's when the first thing that comes to my head when I moved out.
Yeah.
But you mean for you, like there was, probably a lot of battles of doing things 150% on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, renting bedrooms from friends and just, the relationship going sour, the friendships going sour. And then, just dealing with like verbal and mental abuse from the parents, you know what I mean? It was That, not having your parents to back you up, not having your siblings seeing what's happening to you after you've left the nest, your personal belongings being stolen, from your bedroom, and then a couple of days later they just pop up out of nowhere and the neighbor knows, hey, here are your headphones, and I'm just like, wait, what's going on here? It's the process is not easy.
Do you feel like for a certain do you feel or did you once feel once you were in a wheelchair that people no longer had respect for you?
Yeah, people look at you like you're lesser than them, Not only that, but especially with me, it's like they look at me and automatically they see parts of themselves that they've neglected, and it's just, how is this guy in a wheelchair maneuvering better than I am, like mindset wise?
Mentally.
You know what I mean? Like, how is this dude operating like this when I have full capability of everything?
So it really just a slap in their face by looking at you.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, man, ain't no one fucking looking down on you that's better than you. I'll tell you, that's something I've learned in life, man. So anyone that's ever done you wrong, said anything wrong to you, they're not fucking doing better than you. I'll tell you that right now, they're doing better than you. Something I've learned in life, man, and I've got to sit in a room with some now even more badass people, you right here. But I've got to sit in some room with some people that make money that I think a lot of us dream of. And I've never sat on a table with one of these people, had a conversation with some of these people, and I got to talk to some amazing people. I've never been talked down by anyone that's doing better than me, right? And it's something that I've learned. So anyone that has ever done you wrong or said anything wrong, anyone out there listening has someone done wrong, said anything wrong, just out of spite or just being hateful, I can tell you right now they're not doing better than you.
Oh yeah.
Right, I mean,
and I see
especially
that.
not mentally.
Yeah. No, I see that, and today I understand it's not about me. It's their actions, their behavior. It's not about me. Like, if I'm bringing up something to the surface for them and they can't handle it, it's something that they got to work on. So how people treat me is not my problem. It's a them problem.
Man, and I think we all like fight that demon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With social media being such as big as it is right now, and everyone posting their highlights and everyone posting the perfect shot out of 100, me included, right? I'm very vocal about that. When you see a post for me, just know there's 15 other shots. You know what I mean? Yeah. And want to look the best. I want that stuff, and I call myself out for that. Never edit or stuff like that, right? But we live in a time where it's just like always we're so focused and worried about impressing the next person, but that next person possibly doesn't even have a pot to piss in, right? So you're realizing that the way that people are treating you you just said how people treat me is not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on them, bro. That is like a ultimate slap in anyone's face that has ever done wrong to you or to anyone listening has got done wrong. Like, that is absolutely insane. That mindset right there is just winning. And how did you realize that? When did you come to realization with that? Like, what was that one moment where it just clicked? When you're like, why the hell am I worrying about this person?
It wasn't anyone in particular. It was my own behavior. My own behavior, because it's just all like that. I mean, I'm not a perfect person. I'm fucked up. I'm flawed. I make mistakes, like I'm subject to error, but having that awareness of me seeing my behavior, I'm just like, wait a minute, where is this coming from? What is the root? Right. And it's just like, okay, was it childhood trauma? Was it being neglected as a child, being abandoned, or whatever the case is? So it's just all like, as I'm deconstructing myself and reflecting inward and doing my own inner healing, I'm just all like, this is what it is,
And it was up to you to change it.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it to go here, but it's absolutely amazing that you just said that, right? Because my story is weight loss, overcoming obesity, overcoming a food addiction, overcoming, suicidal thoughts, overcoming depression, which everything that you've also had went through too. And we both met, even though you're over here, I'm over here, going through the same battle. We both met at the same thing, and it was us being the problem. You realize that you had to fix whatever was going on, and I realized I had to fix whatever was going on. And no matter what the situation, and thing is safe to say is that it's up to us to make that change, regardless of you have trauma, you got childhood trauma.
Oh, yeah,
I got childhood trauma, right? You've ever had your heart broken?
For sure.
I've had my heart broken. You know what I mean? Like, and someone listening out there, everything I just said, they have also had it too. But regardless of the situation, regardless of the drama, regardless of how our upbringing, our parents supporting us, not supporting us, being called fat, being kicked while we're down, whatever it is, like those situations and what I've learned, and let me know if you agree with this, those situations have already happened. That emotion is already embedded into me, but my actions moving forward will determine if I let those defeat me or not.
Yeah.
Right? And how do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel... I don't even know how to put this.
Take your time.
I don't know if this is gonna make sense or anything, but it's just so like I feel like I just have to like hold myself accountable for everything, you know. Me seeing the childhood trauma, whether it's been physical, mental, emotional, whatever it may be, I literally had to just take a step back and just honor what it is that had happened and accept it, feel the feels, and let them swing by, let them go. I don't know. Yeah.
No, man. We have to. We have to let that shit go, because what we do, man, is it's already happened once to us. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? So when we choose to, the situation already happened once to us, and when we choose to let it affect us in our day-to-day thinking weeks and months later, it didn't just happen once. It's like it's happened every damn day until we choose to let that situation go.
Yeah.
Now, letting a situation go is not forgetting it. Letting a situation go is not acting like it never happened.
Yeah.
It's what you said. It's accepting those feelings, accepting that it happened, and where do I go from here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a difficult thing that all of us had to do. We've all had to let go of a lot of shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like we can't let that person or that thing or that situation or that moment paint the rest of our life. We can't let that. We got to get rid. We got to get a new pen, right? We got to get rid of the old pen. We got to stop writing that chapters with those pens now. And we got to let it go. We got to leave that pen where it is and just pick up a new one and just keep on writing, keep on pushing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if I personally feel that if you didn't let go of a lot of those situations, I don't think you would be as positive as you are today. And I know people right now are getting the serious pedo.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like outside of, because this is real shit. This is a real conversation. Someone's out there crying. Yeah. Right? You almost had me crying in the beginning. I was like, fuck, about to put the glasses on. Like, damn. Sorry, not for the first 10 seconds, man. This is the whole podcast gonna go. Right? But this is real conversation, man. Because this is more than just weight loss. Right? This is life. Like, this is absolutely life. And how we choose to take in the situation is one thing, but how we choose to move forward with it is even more powerful.
Yeah. And I I want to add on to that is just like, I'm not always positive. That's not
Hell
me,
no.
I'm a person that honors duality, You're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times. You're going to be you're going to be rude, you're going to be rude to people, you're going to be polite to people, There's always two sides to the coin. Mm-hmm. So, but the way I see it is just like, okay, even if you're having a rough time, even if you're lashing out at people, even if you're being disrespectful for what it is, it's just like, okay, how can I do better? How can I improve myself? How can I continuously work on my healing, And healing isn't, it's a one and done type of thing. No, it's continuous work. So, yeah.
And you heal, what's crazy? I'm pretty sure you've witnessed it. You heal yourself from one thing. Yeah. And then you remember 5 other things. Yeah. Or something new pops up. Yeah. Right? And it's just life's fucking hard. Right? Like there's a single mom right now that didn't plan on being a single mom. There's fathers out there that just lost their whole family in a car accident. There's someone that was just given 6 months to live. There's someone who's just given 6 days to live. Like, life is precious. You know what I mean? And it's something that I've learned from within myself when I've went through my suicidal stuff. And I feel like if I didn't, and I'm not saying that I wish being suicidal on anybody. I'm just saying this is my story. But I feel after I've dug myself out of that very negative headspace, and when I chose to really work on myself, I feel like I've started to really respect life. I really started to respect not only myself, like it started with myself, right? Selfish before you become selfless. But when I started to really work on myself and to build me up is when not I started to only not respect myself, but I started to respect other people. I realized, like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I get, I have tempers like everyone else. But before, when I was so unhappy, it was all the time. Now I'm really cautious about who I let take that negative energy from me and who I give that negative energy to, right? Because at the end of the day, like, when you go through something so heavy and something so difficult that some people don't overcome, some people don't come over suicidal thoughts, right? Some people don't. So when you go through something like that and you push through, I look at everyone like, fuck, I just want to see you win.
Yeah.
Like, I spent so many years of my life being a fucking hater where, like, I want to see you win. You hate me? Cool. I want to see you win. You think I'm a fat piece of crap? Cool. I want to see you win. Because I know by how, what you're saying, by how you look at me and how you're judging me, I know that you're broken. I know that something you haven't healed.
Yeah.
And I know how hard it is. So I accept your hatred and I still want to see you win.
Exactly.
Like, I want to see you overcome that. And I feel that side of me, I was always raised to love people, but I really feel that side truthfully was a lot, not fake. It wasn't, it's not fake. Like, now it's truly out because I've learned to respect life a lot more because of what I've overcome. And I understand it with myself and with my clients and hearing your story that this shit's difficult, bro. Like, things change in a second, right? We go from winning to losing. We go from walking to not. We go from, having a full family to not having a full family. We go from making a lot of money to living in a fucking van. Like, you know what I mean? And like, it really, when you go through something so difficult and you get out of it, which all of you are capable to get out of whatever situation you're in, it makes like the win taste so much better.
For sure.
Like, it makes it right. Am I right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes that win that fucking win taste so fucking good. Like, I can't even you think your water tastes good? Like, that win after digging, like, you just feel like, not that I feel better than anybody. Like, it's just fucking like, holy shit. Yeah. 6 months ago, I was ready to fucking take my life. Shit, 4 years ago, I was 600 fucking pounds and couldn't wipe my ass. Breaking beds left and right. And it's like, now it's just like, it's not that I think it's cool. Like, you started at 350, I started at 650. That's not a flex. Mm-hmm. But it's not, I'm not bringing it up to brag. I'm bringing it up because I've overcame my demons. You know what I mean? And like, with you and having the mindset you have right now that you're not positive all the time, like, are you happy? Are you genuinely happy that you fought the fight? Oh,
for sure. Excuse me. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm, definitely happy that I fought the good fight. You know what I mean? Because, if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
And where are you today?
Today, I'm working on recovering from my spinal cord injury.
Bro, that video, when I said video, I cried. I didn't tell you because I don't be telling people I cry.
Yeah.
Can't let people know. Yeah. I can't let my clients know I cry. All right, when you started to move, I was like, oh, motherfucker. I was sitting on the toilet. Always on the fucking toilet, dude. And I was like watching it, and I was like, oh. You know what I mean? I felt like, it felt like it was the end of Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
When he was running. I was like, it's my fucking dog. He's got it. He's going to do this. You know what I mean? But just like, it's very impactful. It is impactful because like, I don't know how to explain it. I, in my head, put myself in a box in so many people that it's impossible to lose weight. But no one's ever told them it's impossible. Someone sat you down and said, it's impossible for you to move your legs again. And yet, you were like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it one day.
Yeah. So when I got my spinal cord injury, doctors told me, they're like, well, if you're not up and walking within 2 years, that's it. You're done. 5-6 years ago, started regaining sensations in my legs. I went outside, threw out some trash. It was cold, wintertime. And I'm just all like, who cares? I can't feel my legs. I'm just going to go out in basketball shorts, you know? You know, it's just all like, let's go, right? Let's run it. You know, it's going to be really quick. Go out, run it, you know? Run the wheels. You know? So I went out, threw out the trash, you know? And as I'm outside, I started feeling something. I'm just like, wait a minute, why am I feeling cold from my legs? What is this? I'm just like, okay. So I went back into my bedroom, and I'm just like, all right. Started going in prayer, and I'm like, all right, ancestors, like, if it's meant for me to walk again or make some type of recovery, I need you guys to step in, move everything around, and open up those doors, open up those opportunities. And literally, like about a month and a half later, I get connected with the guy that runs my physical therapy unit. His name is Hal Hargrave, and he runs the Perfect Step.
That's who you've been with for a long time, right? You're still with them?
Yeah, I'm still going to physical therapy.
Makes sense why he has a perfect step on the shirt. Okay, my bad. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So I started going to the Perfect Step about maybe 5-6 years ago. And I'm just all like, how is this just even happening? How are these doors just opening up, you know? My buddy was just like, here's a business card, reach out to this guy. Started looking it up, started looking up his organization. I'm just all like, this is where I'm going to go. This is where the path is opening up, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just all like, okay, prayers are being answered, follow through.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Don't question it, you know, follow through with it.
Move with the purpose.
You know, I spoke to, you know, my family members. They're like, that's a waste of money. What are you doing?
That is thing.
What are you doing? Why don't you just go to a gym? You still have the equipment at the gym. I was like, it's not the same. You know, I applied for a grant. You know, they helped me out. You know, cover a good amount of my expenses the first year, and getting into a habit, getting into a routine of like getting yourself out, moving. You know, I didn't see results instantly. I'm just gonna put that out there. You know, and you know, having those doors open and, you know, the opportunity just handed to you on a silver platter and not experience anything with my legs right away within the first year, it can be it can mess with you mentally, you know? It's just like, okay, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this working for me? Like, okay. But having that habit of getting out, socializing, exercising, getting yourself into the gym. You know, I was taking trains left and right just to show up to physical therapy, pushing myself uphill for like 2 miles.
I was gonna say, yeah, like
therapy.
2 miles, right?
Yeah.
That you were traveling for a minute to get there. I kind of want to revisit like 2 things real quick before you keep on going. One, I don't feel that this stuff was just handed to you. I feel like you've earned it. Like, I don't feel like anything like is ever handed to anyone. I feel like you have to work for good shit to happen, because good shit doesn't happen to fucking people that aren't working.
And that's just me just feeling that I'm still not worthy of it.
Yeah, well, fuck that. I'm not letting you feel that way. I'm gonna tell you, like, the doors just don't open. You don't trip and fall in fucking success, right? Yeah. You trip and you don't trip and fall into good habits. You don't trip and fall. You don't trip and fall to good luck, right? You chose to overcome battles, and the people that seen it, the prayers that you were giving to who you believe in, which is whoever you believe in, heard it, and you kept putting the effort and you didn't give up. And another thing I want to kind of touch back real quick, for those of you who didn't listen to that, my man said he kept showing up for a year even after not feeling anything. You people, all of us, not gonna say you people, all of us wouldn't fucking work for 7 days and give up on ourselves. This motherfucker just said a year. That's 365 days that you were showing up for yourself with no sensation in your leg, but yet still got out of bed, still wheelchaired yourself 2 miles, took a train, if I'm correct, Uber and then a train, correct? Uber and train or vice versa, for the opportunity maybe one day to feel something more.
Yeah.
And I've given up on myself when I fucking woke up and the sun wasn't where I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. You just shatted on me and everyone listening right now. You just said a year for the smallest chance of hope to be able to feel something. I know you don't understand how tough that is because you're living it, right? But like when I heard that, he just said no nonchalantly, a whole year. You know what I mean? Like, and we give up on ourselves in fucking 24 hours. You know what I mean? And it's like hearing you share this stuff in the story is like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, why did we give up on ourselves because it got hard? You know what I mean? Because do we really even know what hard is sometimes? And no, we don't understand and we can't step in everyone's shoe to get a taste of it. But it's safe to say that other people are struggling a lot more than us. You good? You want to take a break?
No, I'm good. I'm just dealing with back pain. But I'm good. Let's keep moving through with it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we're good. I'm good.
As I was over here complaining about being tired earlier, you know what, Pio? You do this on purpose, man. You make me feel weak. I'm going to go run 5 miles right now. I'm about to go run. I got to do something now. I got to outwork you somehow, Pito. I don't know. I got to go do something. No, I'm just kidding, man. But yeah, no, it's insane and just hearing it, man. And I hope people are really listening to this because I'm not saying that you have to go get put in a wheelchair to respect life, but I'm saying, like, understand that you don't have it that bad. Like, we got to understand that it gets better.
Oh, yeah.
Doors will open when you make effort to open them. But the shit ain't going to, it's not going to, no one's going to just hand you success. No one's going to hand you money. No one's just going to give you discipline. No one's just going to give you self-respect. No one's going to give you self-confidence. Like, all this shit is earned. You know what I mean? And now, the perfect step, still there. How to read that real quick.
Yeah. So
how's it going now? Like, because I personally know, but I want you to share with people. Listen, they don't know you like I know you. Like, what in the last 2 years, what have you accomplished?
taking footsteps.
She's insane, dude.
Taking footsteps. Hearing my shoes hit the ground, lifting up. Feeling like now, like my physical therapist, I work with him a lot, he can have his hand underneath my ankle and I can feel his hand resting underneath my ankle. I can feel him pulling down again, like along the back of my calf. I can feel that pull. I can feel that sensation. Pinching on my hamstring, I can feel that. It's not like feeling it like you would feel it, right? It's like this, when that feeling when your legs fall asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time on the toilet.
Yeah, so it's just like that tingling sensation, burning. Sometimes it can get a little bit painful, but in my eyes, if I'm feeling pain, I'm making that connection.
Pain.
If you're not feeling pain, there's no connection to your legs. So even if it's brutal, even if I can't handle it, that right there is hope for me, So, yeah. So now I'm getting the dorsiflexings happening, with my feet. Hip flexors getting stronger. Now I can crawl across the floor. It's insane, man. Honestly, I still trip out on the situation. It's like, how is my body still healing after 17 years?
Because you're still fighting. That's why, man. You're fighting. You're drinking your protein drinks. That's what it is. You know what I mean? That's what it is, man. I personally feel it's because you're still fighting. Yeah. I'm a very, very strong believer in, an old saying that, my grandparents would always say. It's like, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah. Right? And I feel like when we stop fighting, not saying failing, I'm talking about stop fighting. We fail. We give up. We suck at things. We quit. Well, I'm like, stop actual fighting. I feel like that's when shit starts to go south.
Oh, yeah. And I settled for my situation. I settled for my situation. I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm not walking again. Cool. Accept it. Make the best of life. You know, you've learned how to accept the situation for what it is. You learn how to, you know, maneuver around obstacles. You know, I still trip out of the fact that, you know, I can easily get on a plane and travel to Australia by myself. Made it happen.
Bro, you drove here.
A couple years ago. Yeah, I just drove
You
here.
drove here. You forget an airplane, bro. Everyone travels on air. I've traveled at 600 pounds on an airplane. You drove up here. Something that you probably didn't think was ever going to be possible.
Yeah. Made it happen. Got my driver's license a couple weeks ago. You know.
Well, there's dudes out there that mom still cut their fucking steak. You drove out here.
Yeah, I drove out here from Anaheim today. So
4.5 hour drive. Well, I don't know for you. For me, it's like 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, I got up in the morning, went to physical therapy, got some movement in.
Still hit the gym.
Still did
EDC weekend. Still hit the gym.
Did an hour and a half.
How many of you did that this weekend? How many of you did that? How many of you still hit the gym before you went out this week? You know,
I had leg day.
Pedo.
One week hitting leg day, bro.
Pedo. Stop it. Pedo.
When? Answer the question. We'll hit it soon. Don't trip.
When I train you, I'll give you half off.
Cool.
We'll just do upper body.
There we go. Oh, all right. Damn.
It slipped out, damn it. We are good friends. We're family. You got me. You got me to fold. No, man, but I do want them to know this pedo too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also want them to know who you once were. You know what I mean? Because I want them to hear it. We talk crap. We're boys. We talk crap. Me, not as much as some people. But I'm sorry. I apologize for Big John.
Oh, no, he's all good.
Yeah. So let me share this.
I love making people uncomfortable.
Oh, bro, I love it, bro. Good work.
Yeah,
Good work. I honestly would have milked it a little bit more. So for those of you guys know who Big John is, he is my daughter with many different color hairs. Well, where I live I live upstairs. So right when you open my door, there's stairs. So my boy Pito and Pito brought his boy over here. They're out here for the weekend, out of a good time in Vegas. And obviously I had to carry my boy Pito up here. So I carry my boy Pito, I put him on the couch, and then Big John's downstairs. And he had the audacity to call up to me and say, yo, bro, do you want me to bring the wheelchair or just keep it down here? I said, Big John, yes, keep it down there so Pito can walk around up here while he's on the podcast. He was so serious. Like I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, man.
Does it happen? Do some people we need to get this guy on the podcast too. I'm not sure if you guys got a curfew, but I was thinking about throwing him on too because he shared me his story, and I was like, "Oh damn, that made me, damn."
Yeah,
but we won't talk about that. This is you right now.
No, it's all good.
But like, does that happen? Does that them not being rude, like just not knowing, like
it happens
that happen
often. It happens often. I don't take it to offense. You know, it's just like it's something new for them. So it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna
bash
cancel
him.
John. Who's gonna cancel John? John's cool, man.
Yeah, it's like they don't do it on purpose, and you know, like even like I'm not gonna lie, like when we first when I first met you, like everyone had a very very close relationship with you already. I knew who you were because the EDC video, because I knew you were. Because I was like, oh shoot, that's a guy. I used to rave a lot. For the guys that don't know, I used to be shuffling my ass off, right? But I didn't know how to I wanted to ask you for help, but then Francine kind of prepped me like, hey, like he's got it, and when he needs help, he'll let us know.
Yeah.
But if he's not asking for it, there's no need to give it. And so I'm just thinking like me trying to be how I'm raised, like help. I was like, okay, cool. But then now like I look at it because two different mindsets. When I met you, I was 600 plus pounds, and like now I'm just like, oh, it makes sense. Like he didn't need no one to help, but then when you need help, he's gonna ask for it because he wants to be dependent on himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it is a different thing too, especially like when we went to dinner the first time. And I was so used to not helping you, but then obviously you need help to get in the truck.
Yeah.
Or was the truck? Yeah, whatever it was. So then it made sense of like, oh shoot, like, do I offer? Okay, like now I was just like today I met you, I'm like, what do you want me to do? Let me know. Like I mean, other than that, obviously I knew what you need help upstairs, but whatever it is. But it is like a definitely like a new feeling. Not uncomfortable. I don't think it's fair to say uncomfortable, but it's definitely like a new feeling of like, okay, I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but I do want to let him know I'm here to help when he needs it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure you get like those awkward times in life
Yeah.
where people have you ever seen that? You know what? We're on this topic. People are gonna judge me for this, but I'm just curious.
Run it.
Run it.
Run
Just
it.
say it.
Yeah.
Just go all ahead, right? All in. We're just gonna go in right now.
No filter.
You ever see? No filter.
No filter.
My PR is going crazy right
That's
now. They don't know
alright.
what I'm about to say. Ever seen that video where the girl wins prom and she's in a wheelchair
Okay.
and the song he plays the song is when your legs don't work like they used to before.
Oh my God.
Bro, I found that to be the most secondhand embarrassment video because I felt like the DJ didn't know, but read the crowd, brother. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know why I just thought that right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of that right now. But you never seen it, so I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
Let me know how you feel about that one.
Okay. I'll let you know. Actually, my cousins used to crack jokes, and they were just like, when that song would come on, they would start singing. They would just look at me and put their palm out, like,
Come down.
"It's you. Your legs don't work like they used to. It's you."
And you're so like in like it's not like I feel like being in a wheelchair doesn't make pedo. I feel like pedo makes the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like you accept who you are. Like
now today.
your character's not the wheelchair. Like it's pedo.
Yeah.
But you accept what you are right now.
Yeah, and like today now, I mean, before I used to, be embarrassed about it, and now I used to be embarrassed about the chair, going out and about, people automatically, little kids at the grocery store just, owl eyes open, just
kids are
staring,
assholes, bro.
But no, that's that's how it is. But now today, last couple of years, I'm just like accepting of it more, and now I see it as my throne of power, man. It's this is me, it's
Who pedo?
it's me, man.
It's you. It's pedo. That's it. I don't say. Yeah, your Instagram handle is crazy legs.
Crazy Legs Jose.
Crazy Legs Jose. Right. So if that don't speak volumes by itself, man, is absolutely amazing. While I have you on here, you know what I mean? What are some things that you wish more people knew about people that were in wheelchairs? Like, what are some things that like you would like someone like me to, not just me in general, just like, the other outsiders to kind of know about people in wheelchairs? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what made me want to ask that question, but for some reason I feel like I felt like it was right.
So, if I can say one thing about people in wheelchairs that I wish people would know more, we got more to prove. And we will push harder to prove ourselves right.
That's all right. You didn't say prove them right. You said prove you right.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't think about that. You do. Because I know you, I don't believe it, but I'm also going to step out of me knowing you and maybe step into when I hated myself the most. And I would maybe look at someone in a wheelchair and be like, well, I'm 600 pounds of it. I could walk. And that was like when I hated myself. Right. So that does make sense. I would look like how, and same thing how you just shared that, as a lot of people look at fat people that way, obese, morbidly obese, like, hey, because that was me. Right. Hey, oh man, I'm overweight, but I'm not as big as AJ. Right. Oh man, I'm this, but I'm not, I'm not as big as that guy. I wear a 3X, but I definitely don't wear a 7X like him, So I've also, being at my heaviest weight, felt like it was, something more to prove and something that like, because we get stared at by, visually. People don't know pedo. Yeah. People just see you as a whole before they even get to meet you. And they judge you right away, which is just a time we live in is just judgment.
We're not broken. Like people treat us like we're these little puppies, or like they don't want to look at us because I think they get uncomfortable. But the thing here is we're still human. We're not broken, and
you guys know how to party.
We don't need your pity.
You're human. That's it. You're still a human being. Just talk to me like a human being, right? Like don't coddle me like I'm a human being.
Look at me when you're talking to me. Don't look at the other person that's able-bodied.
Damn. Well, I've been staring at you the whole time.
For sure.
I got you, man. I've been staring. I have eye contact and everything. Francine, I don't know, but me, I have been staring. Bro, I like that, man. Yeah. what really like I said, we're family. Like, I've known you for a very long time. I look at you like family. But really, what really opened my eyes to like see someone just be a badass is I forget her name, but I think you guys followed each other on Instagram. She's from First Form. Also, she's also in a wheelchair.
Jesse Strahan.
Jesse, yeah. When I was just every single event we're at, it was already a pain in the ass for me to get to the First Form events because they're so far away, Ubers, this and that. And I seen her at everyone, and I seen her with a smile on her face. I'm over here fucking hot, tit sweat, and she's, willing her way through the 1 mile around the track. You know what I mean? I'm like, I looked at her, I'm like, God damn it. Shut up, AJ, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I just realized, and then I thought of you too when I was walking, because we all did a mile. I was for kids. And I thought of you, I was like, fuck, like that's so badass. Like to every single day to like the average thing to do that's normal is freaking difficult, but yet you get it done. You guys get it done with a smile. Traveling's hard for you. Driving, everything that is just normal for us is difficult for you, but yeah, you guys do it with a smile. Like, bro, like that shit is badass. That shit is empowering. Like it makes me just smile thinking about like, fuck. And one of my boys overcomes it every day. You know what I mean? And I personally feel it's because you've pushed through it. Because I'm pretty sure you've met people in a wheelchair that don't have your mindset. They've let it become their character. The wheelchair is now them. Mm-hmm. That wheelchair makes them. They don't make the wheelchair. You know what I mean? And so someone's out there listening that is letting something absorb their life and they just feel that they can't overcome it. And off of everything you've overcame in life, like what would you share with them? I want you to send it off with that. What would you share with that person that is letting something overpower their life to the point where they feel like they can't win anymore?
Give yourself some grace. You don't have to have it done overnight. You don't have to have things figured out at the snap of a finger. That's not how life works. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself more credit. I mean, if I could look back at myself and tell myself as a child, it would be to be more patient with myself. Don't let my ego get in the way. It's not about when you want it, it's about when you need it. That last part I just said, that was ingrained to me by my godmother.
Say it one more time.
It's not about what you want, it's about what you need.
Dang. Yeah. You need a podcast, Pito.
I need a podcast.
You need a podcast, Pito.
I need a podcast.
You need a podcast, man. I feel like you don't understand. You live this life.
Yeah.
Right? This is you.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma, drama, surgeries, wheelchairs, stress, suicidal thoughts, blah, blah, blah. That's you. That's what you've overcame, right? But I feel people like you deserve a voice more than anyone because you've overcame it. You overcome it every day, and you focus on yourself, but yet you focus on helping and being such an asset to other people. Mm-hmm. When it's hard to even be a good person to other people when you can walk, and you're not overcoming multiple surgeries and. If you're going to feel this or, you know what I mean? Like you got so much excitement when you felt a breeze hit your leg. You mean? Like I thought it was cool when I got to see my dick again after losing weight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was like, that was my choice. Like that was my, I should have, everything I've done and everything I'm known for and what I've achieved is stuff that I should have never let happen.
Yeah.
Now I've won the battle and I focus on winning every single day, but I just have such respect for someone like you that overcame something that you had no choice. Does that make sense? Like, I look at my journey, like I never should have been that big, but I'm happy I overcame it. And I get to help other people. But when I listen to someone like you talk, I'm thinking like, your only choice was to be positive. Your only choice was to overcome it. So it's just like, man, I feel like people like you, forget these people out here that fucking stub their toe and think they've won life. Like, I think people like you really should have a voice and should be sharing this, because it really makes us take a step back and think, like, what am I complaining about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, really, man. So hopefully, I want to plant the seed right now, man. Hopefully I hear Pito has a podcast soon. I would love to hear it. I'd listen to it, because I'm tell you what, I'm going to put that shit on when I'm acting like a little puss. And I'm like, okay, let's go. I got to work, man, because it's impactful, man. And thank you for, you know, coming here and sharing your story and, you know, making some time while you came out here to, you know, on vacation. Because I feel a lot of people need this, man. I feel a lot of people needed to hear this, including myself, because I was just overcoming, you know, a shoulder problem that is going to be healed in 12 weeks. And I'm over here freaking throwing a temper tantrum. And my man, you know, went to therapy for a whole year before he even with just a hope that you would be able to feel something again. Yeah. So it's impactful, man. And I really hope everyone out there really took this one in and really listened to it and really understand that there is no battle that you cannot win. And I think it's proven by having Pito on here today and sharing what he's been through and overcome. And I really can't wait to have you back whenever you come back to Vegas, and we get to dive in even more and maybe something stuff for you, because we always look back and like, damn, we didn't talk about this. You know, so you come back whenever you want, man, because sure. I feel like, honestly, like, I feel like this is a conversation a lot of people need to hear. You know what I mean? Well, I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me out here. I appreciate it.
All this happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man.